Donkey Kong 64 has been on my mind a lot more again recently, and I've been making my friends as well as random people listen to me go on about just how much I love everything about the aesthetic with this game. Now, early memories play a role, and obviously autism, but I just love how the way every texture, every model, every graphical effect looks in this game. And that even extends to like actual tangible stuff like the cartridge itself in the Jungle Green N64. And just love the way this cartridge looks in that shade of yellow. And in the game itself, like I've just always loved the way everything looks in here. Like there's just something very comfy about it, like very cartoony, classic, and like it just reminds me of what home used to feel like and what I often wish that like it could still feel like. And I just even love like the DK rap room and like that dark room with the dark floor textures. It's my beloved. Like I just love the way like every shade of color looks, every little detail in this game, and just the whole entire overall art style, and just like the amount of like thought that was put into everything in here. And like I don't know, a lot of it just reminds me of like watching like cool movies and stuff. And anyway, not to continue going on about that, I actually want to go through just a measly three different areas in this game that stand out to me that I feel like a lot would otherwise just ignore. And I guess that, yeah, like it's just going to be one of those stupid videos. But yes, I want to show off these areas, and I'll probably explain more about how everything in the game makes me feel as I display them. Now, in Frantic Factory, this is actually one of my favorite areas just in any game in general, more of a spot because it's not the whole entire level or even the room, but it's one particular point, and it's in that room with the giant block tower that you have to climb as Diddy. And once you make it all the way up there, the atmosphere changes to show just how high you've gone. As you can see the ceiling, and it's clear, it's like glass paneling, and it's this deep, dark, black night sky full of stars, and I just absolutely love the feeling it makes once you get all the way up there and it shows this and it's all surrounding you. And like there's just something about this I just absolutely fucking love how it feels, and it's very cool. And like it just kind of reminds me of how nighttime used to feel like as a kid back around when this game was new. I guess particularly a more warmer night and going out during that time. And it's just such an amazing atmosphere that they created just through that simple thing that's never even like called attention to. And like it reminds me of like, of course, Frantic Factory is like a toy themed level, so like it reminds me of going to a place like say Toys R Us like at nighttime during that time. And like I guess it helps I have a lot of early memories of playing Frantic Factory during the night at that period as Chunky the best Kong. And like I also have this like very brief memory of around that time of using one of those like toy like want more things that have the colorful balls that bounce around them as you use it. I was always like fascinated and mesmerized by those. And being in a store like that, it just reminds me of that very small memory. And another cool thing with this area is that when you look up, not only do you see more of the sky, but you can see the moon, and it's the same moon that's in that monitor in KK Rules room at Hideout Helm. And it has that whole entire like weird aura to it, and I've talked about it on the N64 Mysteries Iceberg. Bless anybody who's seen that series. Anyway, sticking to Frantic Factory, this is a room, and it's an odd and unremarkable place, as someone else maybe would have called it, and somebody else also would probably say that this is an area that's safe from the meteor. As Tiny, when you go through the R&D area, there's that part where you have to race the car, and you shrink down and you go through the little like tunnel pipe thing, but it doesn't transition you immediately to that mini game. No, instead, for whatever reason, they decided to include this extra room here that has no use or purpose to it. They could have just skipped it, but no, they made this whole entire other room, and I guess it's just to build atmosphere and anticipation, because it makes it more clear that you're about to do a race, because it looks like a road and there's the checkered flag starting line thing. Makes you think, what's the point of that one then? Because you're clearing a different area, whatever. Anyway, I just love the weird vibes, but cozy vibes this room gives. Like, it just feels very like secretive and like secluded and safe. And I I don't know, it's just such an odd room, especially again since it has no use to it. And I kind of feel this way about Snide's room in this level too, but that one at least has a use. But it's kind of similar with that, how it's just like off in a corner by itself and it's all like protected and stuff. And you could see through the window to the entrance where the enemies are, but like they can't get or do anything about you. And it's just very cozy and like safe and like shielded feeling. And it's added even more of this room because again there's like really no point to it, but they made it anyways and you gotta love it for that. And to put it bluntly, this is a place where I would feel very comfortable taking a crap, and I feel the same way about Snide's room too. I know that is stupid sounding, but it's just generally how I've always felt about it, especially since I've always been very particular about feeling comfortable while going to the bathroom and not being able to if I don't at all. And I always like to open up both closet doors in the bathroom because it makes like the front door more shielded and it makes me feel better about going. And yes, anyway, enough telling you about my bowel movements. Let's get to the last part. And that moves on to Gloomy Gallon. Now, Gloomy Gallon is always like an atmosphere that I love because not only does it just generally create a fascinating one, but this area in particular, something about it always just remind me of watching VHS movies at this time. Something about this area in particular. It specifically reminds me of like Don Bluth movies and Renaissance era Disney movies, which fits for the time this game was coming out. But I didn't even really actively watch any of those back then, and I don't know why. I guess just because it generally reminds me of using the VCR so much, and those are obviously very common videos that go into them. And obviously, it reminds me of like Little Mermaid 2, in particular, the beginning when Ariel is going through the sunken ship and the cannon and stuff. Do that exactly on here, but anyway, the ship that you go into as Chunky, the one that's not sunken but is actively floating around, you go to this area, and this is one that I've more recently become more fascinated with. Now, I liked it as usual, of course. I like the skate and like these spinning barrels and just the way it looks like everything else in the game. It's all well and good, and it did always stand out to me because there's that unique thing that happens only to this area where after you click the golden banana, Chunky gets all dizzy and your controls are reversed and you have to get out that way. But anyway, something that probably almost everybody doesn't pay any attention to is that you probably won't even see it at all, and even then you'll just like glance by it when you're on your way back, is the windows of the ship. If you look through it, you can see the skybox. A part of it, it's very yellow, and because of the way the skybox is set up, like through the windows that nobody will notice, but also just like even if you do look at it, you can never fully see it. I learned about that reading about it on the cutting room floor, and that got me very fascinated with this area and made it so that I always pay attention to it now whenever I play the game again through like a randomizer and I get to hear. I always have to stop and take a look out through the window, and here's the full skybox texture courtesy of the cutting room floor. And just, wow, look at that. Isn't it fucking stunning? This is an amazing piece of artwork. Just look at the mood it gives. And somebody made all of that, and you never get to see all of it. And the vast majority of players won't even look at the pieces of it at all. And I just fucking love it for that. So next time you play this game, please give the admiration to the windows and look at the skybox as much as you can. Please love it. Well, that's enough of this test video nonsense. Anyway, I'll see you whenever I decide to make ridiculous things. Bye bye.